Hello, Alice. Where are you calling from? I don't see you. You're on. Well, I see a picture. You have. Are you able to go to a video?
I'm failing to connect on the on my camera on the laptop.
No worries. Let's do this. Alice, where are you?
Zambia, Lusaka.
Love Zambia, Lusaka. How are you doing today?
Hi, Sean.
Hello.
Hi, Sean. I'm good.
Good. You have a question for me?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks for being
here. And it's a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure. Some of the things already that you are speaking, if I had the big idea, I was one of the second flight that we create. Wow. And you came through teaching me. My big idea was to start up the manufacturing plant, if you can remember, personal hygiene products.
Of what?
And
yes, I remember.
Personal hygiene products.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah.
You see from Banana?
Well, very challenging, but not giving up. Not giving up. I tried, one of the things that you taught is for a startup company, for me, being in manufacturing, it would be very difficult for me to be able to access funding, being a startup company to do with manufacturing. And I looked at one of the streams that I can be able to do was to trade in minerals, and which I did. But, being a first thing, we had a challenge in logistics because I wanted to go that way. In order to grow, to bring in some money, start trading, producing the product outside the country, and then later on, ultimately, as it grows, the business grows, then I can be able to bring in to start with a small sizable manufacturing plant. But then, challenges to do with a startup. I grouped up on that company, the mining trading company, with one person who also actually had an idea on the third that you are saying, on the three things that you've already found you talking about, having a person good with marketing. He is with an Indian origin, and then has worked in Dubai, and we're able to get a startup company immediately. The first company, we got an order for a trial for 2,000 metric ton to bring in manganese. But logistics was challenging and relying on somebody that I did not really know so well. And so he was in charge. He took the monopoly. We got the first order. The money is to carry the long story short. The logistics started, but very slowly. The owners of the company came in. They believed in me with a tracking record where I've been trained. They followed me up, all these things. That's why, Sean, it's very good to be on these social platforms. Investors or business people, they will track you.
So, Alex, time out for a second. Time out. What's your question? What challenge are you having now? It sounds like things are going well, but what
challenge is now? I'm still at a position where I cannot be able to access whether investment to get to start producing the products. And these products, one of the products list was even sanitizers was one of the products. So imagine it, if I had the opportunity, the company would have really scaled up on be able to do this right now.
It's still can.
Yeah. But one of the things that I have not sat back.
I want to ask you a couple questions. So you went into the minerals to generate revenue to support funding your hygiene products. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
So that's brilliant. And then it hasn't been working out because of the logistics, and it's a lot more work and time, and it
did work out, Sean. It did work out, but because we took long, the owners, remember, the mineral has to be at the right time when they've ordered for the end of the channel of the value chain.
Gotcha.
The end user needs when it has been ordered also. So it took long. So in the end, the buyers came in to demand. Now they brought in their own company that was able to quickly take out the minerals. So what was intended to be my profit for the company, which was about $485,000, all went back into logistics. And I live, okay, with a company, the good is named, but I've lost out. It was very frustrating.
So it didn't work out. I mean, it worked out, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
And you lost a lot of time in that process because it was a lot of work.
Yes. Yes.
I got you. And A for effort, great job. These things happen, right? And that's the never ever give up.
Thank you, Sean.
That I'm constantly.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome. So here's my thought. Right now, it should be fairly easy to get some funding. I know that in Kuku Compound, we worked with a sausage manufacturer who went to the sausage to the meat packers, the meat processors, and was able to get funding for those meat processors because they were incentivized to open that factory to be able to get the meat, the sausages starting to be produced. I'm trying to think like that, right? Who's incentivized? Because the more meat that they sell for those sausages from the meat processing plant, the more money they're generating. So there are synergistic funding mechanisms and partners, and really more like partners who will front the money. And so when it comes to the sanitizer piece and also, feminine hygiene, it's not going to go away, right? It's going to be it's just like, it's gone. It's never ending, right? Like you're going to need
it. Yes, you're right.
More people are going to use sanitizer
you're right.
than before. So what I would be doing
right.
is I would go back to the We Create Center. I think it's called WEAC now. And talk to Nambula or whoever's there and ask them if they can help support you to get in touch with some of the funding mechanisms and grants that are coming out of the U.S. Department of State for businesses like yours, because you have a track record. And also what I would do, so that's one thing. That's one. I would go there because there's money flowing from the U.S. for women entrepreneurs in particular. And We Create's got some of that, and so I don't know all the details right now, but I would contact them and see if there's a way to get facilitated into some of the grants that are available. That's one. Two, I would, I think for me that's number one, because I would go to some of the banks. So I know Stanbic Bank might be interested, but you'd want to be facilitated into that bank. And be able to showcase your revenue, I don't know what your financial readiness is in terms of what a bank will accept or won't accept. But again, you've got a track record, and they're going to be interested in going after something like this and investing in something like this, because this is future business versus past business. And so I would start having those dialogues with financial institutions, but I would leverage the heck out of We Create WEAC and get them to help and make some introductions if they haven't done that already. Now, I know that other countries are also, in terms of Zambia, are also putting money into investing in women, and there might be some other mechanisms that are available that I'm not thinking of that could help get moved up to start creating those sanitizers. But I would focus on whatever's the most. So I don't think that feminine hygiene is going to be the one that's the most sexy right now, and the one that they're going to want to fund. It's going to be sanitizer, and that's the one I would go after. And then from that, I would then move to expanding into
that's right, Sean. The other thing that I've done, Sean, 2 years ago during the cholera, because being in this industry has given me my eyes go out for for products that I'm able to advance and to advance our hygiene in public places. I designed a stand that I'll be able to send a picture.
Okay.
And it has the drums during the cholera. And when I showed the St. Mary's School, they immediately were excited, and they were ordered 10 drums just from the beginning. And I used, buy the material, go to a welder without even because I don't need to buy a welder. And I saw that this design can be able to be pro right now. And you won't believe what happened. So immediately the schools have started ordering that. I want to be able to bring this design where I even pattern it, because I want to show you what has happened. Okay. I went to ShopRite.
Time out for a minute. You have a lot of things going on, right?
Yeah.
And you have clearly a lot of creative ideas. You could be a mogul, right? You've got to focus on one thing at a time, or that thing that you think would make you the most money or has the greatest probability of moving forward. If you're spreading yourself too thin, then it's going to be hard to move forward. I'm not saying you can't do multiple things simultaneously, but now that it's been 2 years and you haven't gotten traction on any one of them, and I hear you moving in all these different directions, which I think I understand why. It's the hustle and moving to where the value is and where you're seeing market. But right now, I'm gonna make a request, and this is a consistent thing we've seen across all 3 days so far, and that is focus. You have to determine what it is that you are most that you think has the greatest probability of success right now. And maybe it's not the sanitizers. Maybe it's these barrels, and you can start selling more of those, and you can start generating more money. And that money you can then reinvest to start to do the sanitizer, because the sanitizer is not going away. I still would try going for some funding through some of the grant money that's available, because you might be able to pull in like $25,000 grant, that's relative free money that would then give you the ability to create a nice little factory that could start producing the sanitizers and boxing them up and distributing them while you're doing those barrels that are really generating money. But I would lay off the minerals, and I would do my best to focus. And I would put on a wall, like, I got my wall here. I don't know where you
Yes.
And what I would do is I would write up there. What I've started doing is writing, focus is the focus.
Focus is the focus.
Focus is the focus. And hyper focus. Like, how do you get so focused that this is what you're doing and you're in it? And it can be hard to do, but you are hyper creative. And what that means, it's a gift, and you see opportunities too. And that's a gift, but it's also a curse, because, I've had 75 projects going simultaneously, Alice. And
you're my teacher. I think I got that from you.
Don't do as I say, not as I do. Okay.
Okay, I hear you.
Alice Fenton, who'll be on the show, we've been working together 30 years. That was the first thing she did for me. She helped me understand, what are you working on? She's like, you're doing too much. And I'm like, oh no, I'm great. She goes, no. She made a list, and she's like, look at all these activities you're doing. And I'm like, wow. And so that was the first time that I was 20 some years old that I really thought, I should focus more. And and over time, I've started focusing even more. So I'm a slow learner, thick-skulled, and stubborn entrepreneur, my way, the highway. With maturity, I'm learning a little different. But with you, Alice, you have the ability to be hugely successful. I know it.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
Focus is going to be your key. So put it on the wall. Focus is the focus. And then what are you going to focus on? And then don't lose and stay with it. But put it on your wall. So every morning you wake up, you see that. I post mantras and affirmations around the house, drive everybody crazy, but never ever give up, right? Anything is possible when you believe strongly and are willing to work hard enough. These are important things to continually remind yourself as you go through this. Never give up, and focus is the key right now. Let's check back in. I want to know where you're at in a couple weeks to see how you progress, because I want to learn that you have got sanitizer. You've started making sanitizers. Make them from your home. Have your friends do it. Private material. Sell. Don't think the factory doesn't necessarily have to be. You can do it in your living room. Change your house into a factory, except for where you sleep, and you generate the revenue, and then move out of your house. And so, just
thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
This is great. Thank you.